What are you making for July 4th or your summer barbecues? You're making cornbread. This is, I think, a recipe everyone should make. I was so excited about this cornbread that I actually ate it before I told you anything about it. This has the addition of charred corn, a little red chilli and some spring onions. This super moist inside. Oh my God, it's so good with this delicious, you can see the polenta crust from the bottom of the tin. And then on top, this is hot honey butter. It's got a little heat, a little sweet. Everything comes together like a party in your mouth. This was a staple at my 4th of July supper clubs, on demand. It is great with your barbecues. It is great with some hot smoked salmon. No baking skills required. So we're gonna mix the cornbread. What I'm gonna do first, now that I'm ready to mix, my oven is hot, is I'm gonna put my cast iron pan, which is over there in the oven. I'm gonna let that heat up so that when we are ready to pour the mixture into the pan, it is piping hot and ready to go. So stay right there. We're going to start by just toasting these spring onions and chili and some frozen corn till they get blistered and delicious. So I've got 3 spring onions, 1 red chili. I've kept most of the seeds in because I don't mind the heat, but if you mind the heat, remove the seeds because they're the spicy bit. And a good glug. This is frozen corn. Straight out of the freezer, about 100 grams or so. I'm eyeballing it, but that's okay. Just let these cook. I'm going to add a pinch of salt because it just makes everything better. We're going to let these go blistered and delicious, really. Bit of salt. So this makes this slightly different to the traditional cornbread because you know me, I always like to add a little bit of zhuzh to the party. And this is just going to create texture and crunch into the very delicious, slightly creamy cornbread. This is popping now, which means, almost had my eye taken out, which means, can see that? Time to turn it off. And I'm literally just going to pour them, how should I do this, like that? We're going to make the cornbread. Okay, so we're going to start off by putting the dry ingredients into this bowl. I'm going to start with the flour, and it's a cup of flour or 120 grams, and I'm going to use this method that I love where it just reduces down here and I can see how much I'm taking out. It is, I don't know, I learned this so late, this trick, and it has literally changed my life. Right, 120 grams or a cup of flour. We're going to add some sugar into this mixture. It needs it for everything to calibrate together. Not very much, 50 grams. So we're going to add that. And then, whoops, a little bit more. About a quarter of a cup. Then some polenta. Oh, no, spoon out. Okay, now it's at 0. Now I can tell you how much I'm taking out. 150 grams of polenta. I really like the kind of slightly coarser polenta. You do not want the quick cook version. The coarser polenta or the cornmeal is what gives this the crunch that makes this so delicious. Okay, this needs some raising agent because everything is very dense here with the buttermilk. So we have a teaspoon of baking powder and a teaspoon of baking soda. If you want to add some paprika to it, you could, but I think we've got enough with the chilies going on in here. And don't forget, we've got some hot honey butter too. And of course, some salt. Just going to put that aside for a sec while we mix our wet. And while I get a whisk. Okay, whisk, we have, oh shit, almost topped it over today. Bit too much coffee. Right, we've got some melted butter in the mix, a couple of tablespoons, 30 grams. Not much, just a little. Can I say a little lube? Little lube? Little lube. Anyway, so we're gonna add some eggs, 3 eggs. If I could smash the yolks, it would be great. Ignore the little bit of egg residue. Whoops, bit of shell in there. And there we go, 3 eggs. 500 ml, 2 cups of buttermilk. You can make this dairy-free with oil, and you can use coconut milk, which has got with the juice of a lime, and that will make it acidic. Not quite as good, but if you are looking for dairy-free, that works. Okay, we're just going to give this a little whisk around. And now, bring the dry ingredients back into the party. Now, we need to act quickly here because of the raising agent. So we're going to add all of this delicious goodness and we're going to mix it round. I like to stir in one direction only because that way you reduce the lumps, believe it or not. Now, party time. We're going to add in 3/4 of this corn mixture, leaving just a little bit to sprinkle on the top. Just going to get my pan. I'm going to pour in some olive oil to make it, and I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of extra polenta on the bottom so it crisps and it's got a crust. So I'm going to try and do all of this without burning my hands. Quickly, quickly, quickly. Last final bit of zhuzh. The toppings. 20 minutes. See you later. So because every best dish needs an accessory, and because I think flavoured butters are the best thing you can have in your kitchen, I'm going to make a little hot honey butter, which is possibly the simplest flavoured butter I've ever made, to smear on our piping hot, what's it? Cornbread. What are we making today? We're making cornbread. Wow. I have about 150 grams of butter, and it's so soft because it's quite warm that this is like easy. I really should be doing this with a rubber spatula, actually. Never mind, I'm doing it with this. I often make my own hot honey. There's a recipe for it on the blog. I was recently given the most amazing gift bag. Friends of mine who know me so well, who gave me something, they've just been around the world and they had collected something from every place, including this Quimby's chili honey, which comes all the way, is it from Melbourne or Brisbane? Anyway, comes all the way from Australia. And it's fucking awesome. This is a habanero one, which will be brilliant with the cornbread. It will just flavour perfectly. And by the way, this has a mega kick. And all we're going to do is mix it together. I mean, this couldn't be simpler. I can't actually believe I'm showing you how to make it. Just going to get a rubber spatula. I don't know why I chose this one. A much better utensil for this job. I just love this spoon. I use it for everything. But actually, sometimes you need a bit of rubber. Okay, I've moved on to receptacle number 3 for perfect consistency, honey butter. And there we have it. Look at that little whip, because my butter, it's so hot today and my butter was so soft, but there we have it. Look at that honey butter. Look at that. It is puffed up. It's golden. It's coming away from the edges. It is piping hot. If you want to add a little zhuzh before we add our honey butter to this, or if you're avoiding the honey butter situation, the hot honey butter, you can actually straight out of the oven pour a little honey or hot honey onto the top, and it will melt in and create a crust, which is just glorious. I'm going to leave it now, and then when we're ready, we're going to smear it with some butter. And I think we should taste this baby, don't you? This is the most exciting moment of cornbread right here. Look at that. I mean, it is fluffy, it is moist. I mean, I'm serving it like a piece of pie. Really, I'm going to have this with my barbecue. But right now, I'm going to dollop a little butter and have a bite. So I'm going to just smear, I'm using a spoon, why not? Smear a little bit of this honey butter on the top. I mean, look, it's melting in. That's how hot this still is. I was way too impatient today. The great taste test. Oh my God, it's hot. It's actually going to burn my mouth. This is like pure comfort joy and perfect for the 4th of July.